Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas, and I want to welcome you here today. I'm going to just give a moment for everybody to get here. I might have came on a little bit early. All right. Today is Thursday, July 16th, 2026. And I'm coming on an hour earlier than I normally do, so I hope that doesn't confuse anybody or that they're not able to catch me, but they will be able to watch the replay later, so I want to thank them for that. All right. I want to thank you for spending a little time with me today. I've got some Stampin' Up! Updates and inspiration to share, so let's go ahead and get started with that. If you're watching me on YouTube, I want to make sure that you hit that subscribe button. That's came up on the screen right now. Subscribe to my channel and also click that little bell and you'll be notified when I go live. And also the like button, both on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, be sure you share my video with your friends and family. That gives me more viewers. I appreciate that. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our housekeeping notes. Let's talk about Paper Pumpkin for August. This is called Kindred Greetings. And let me get my paperwork here so I can follow along. You've got until August 10th to sign up for this one. And it's looks very interesting and pretty there. Let me get my notes and tell you a little bit about it. All right, it says you've got until August 10th to subscribe to this. And it says send timeless, understated cards with heartfelt messages of comfort and appreciation. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes, pre-cut paper pieces and intricate pre-cut card fronts, gray and white twine. And the Stampin' Spot with this one is going to be gray granite. And it says card bases and envelopes have a textured linen-like feel. All right. And let me skip over to what's going on this month right now. During the month of August until August 31st. Yes. No. You got from July 11th to August 10th, 2026 to get your August kit. But you need to be a new Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you will receive 25% off your first kit. So it says sign up for a pay-as-you-go subscription by August 10th and save on your next all-inclusive crafting kit. So if you've been on the fence about getting onto Paper Pumpkin, this would be a great chance. And if you don't like your first kit, you can always cancel it or put it on hold, whichever you prefer. So that's something to think about. And like I said, here's the kit that you'll be receiving is the Kindred Greetings. And don't forget that 25% off. I've never seen Stampin' Up! Do that before, so it's the first time. And also, for Paper Pumpkin for the quarter, which was July, August, and September, you can add on these dies for only $13. And the item number is 168664. And these coordinate with the July through September Paper Pumpkin kits. All right. A lot of news going on here today, so I hope you'll be patient with me. All right, and then also Stampin' Up! Has redone how you get your starter kits. You'll pay $100 for your starter kit, well, for signing up to be either a demonstrator or a hobby discount shopper. You'll get it's $100. You'll get a welcome box when you join, and this welcome box has got a value of $60 some. So when you get that, you will also receive a coupon for $125 to be able to use on your first order. So for $100, you get the $60 box plus the extra $25 in products. So that's a pretty good product, or a good deal. Couldn't spit out what I wanted to say. All right. And the product of the month for July is still available. It is called Begonia Belle. And you can see it's very cute. It's got cute sentiments and begonia flowers on there, which are the two-step stamping. It says two-step blooms for rich dimension, sentiments to share joy, love, and happy wishes. And we're going to be using that today on 2 of our cards. I want to use that before it's gone. And these are while products is available while supplies last. So you might want to get your order in sooner rather than later. All right. And I think that's all the news I've got to go over. Yeah, I think so. And also in the description of my video, I have my email address there. So if you need to reach out to me for anything. And let's get back to the program here. And let me take some of these things off the screen. And if you want to shop with me, I'd appreciate earning your business. And you can shop with me on the website that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. But if you missed that, it's also in the description of the video too. So I'm going to leave that up a moment while I get my things situated here, get ready. Okay. All right, we're going to start out with our bundle, which is an Extraordinary Life. Whoops, you can't see me. Let me move my camera down. All right, there we go. And I've got a little bit of a glare here, so I apologize for that. It's kind of hard with the lighting. Extraordinary Life, it comes with the stamp set and the dies as a bundle, or you can purchase them separately. And let me show you the card that we're going to be doing with that. And I'll get all my supplies out here. All right. Instructions. All right. It says one fine day. Whoops. I think my camera's kind of off keister here. And then love it on the inside. And I wonder if I can readjust this, Amy. Maybe say that a little bit better. One fine day is what the outside says. And then on the inside, love it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. My card base is going to be our new color, the hydrangea hue. And it measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Then it's scored at 4 1/4 inches. Let me bring my comments up here. And be sure you say hello when you come on and where you might be watching me from. It's kind of fun to see where everybody is. And I realize I'm on a new time today, so I'm going to maybe possibly do the same time every week. I'm not sure yet. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so we're going to go landscape orientation. And I didn't bring my paper out here. Let me grab that. I'm using our new in color painted patterns. And each color, we're using the polka dotted side. It's got the large polka dots on the other side. And let me just show the patterns here. It's a different color, but I'm just going to show you the patterns. Stripes on one side and some more stripes on the other side. Back in there. Okay, so we're using the polka dotted side, and that measures 5 7/16 by 4 3/16. I know I'm using odd measurements here today, but I wanted to almost cover the front cover without going over. So we're going to put that on the front. Grab my adhesive. Yeah, the glue is a little plugged up this morning. There we go. Guess we had a glue plug in there, sticking it. And now I've got it on my fingers. All right, and that's going to go onto our card front. I feel like I'm forgetting something today. I know we had a lot of updates to do beforehand, so I'm thinking, I think I covered everything. All right, I didn't tell you where this comes from. It comes from, it is in our May to August catalog. Okay, let me grab that. Give you the page number. This catalog runs until August, so we've still got a few days left on that. And let me find that in here. Extraordinary Life. I'm in the wrong spot here. Extraordinary Life is on page 55. Okay. All right, it's right here at the top right-hand corner. I think this also has a scrapbooking kit that kind of coordinates with it too. I'm not sure, but I think it does. It's hard to keep up with everything that's going on in the Stampin' Up! World. All right, and then next, we've got Designer Series paper again. That comes from how's it by? Yes, I'm not very organized today. It comes from the Artesian Sketched Garden. And we're using this pattern right here. And this measures 4 1/4 inches by 2 7/16 inches. And I'll have all these measurements in my blog later today. All right, and this is going to sit down across there. So we're going to go ahead and attach that. We've got the flowers on the other side. And I'm going to keep kind of close to the right-hand side, so it's not going to be quite centered on that left side. And set straight. All right, we're going to place that down there. And then I've got a scrap of our basic black. I'm going to die cut this little area here. And grab the die out of there. It is this one here. Bring my mini Stampin' and Cut and Emboss machine over here. I'm sure you've all heard the excitement about our hot foil machine that Stampin' Up! Just came out with. Mine is supposed to be here today, so I'm anxious to play with mine and do some projects I can bring to you next week. Hopefully, if all goes well. I'm going to tear this excess off of here. I've seen some demonstrators already demonstrating it. They've got some cute ideas with it already. Okay. All right, so there's the die and there's the die cut. We'll bring our card back over here, and this is going to be attached right to this left-hand side of this Designer Series paper. Not sure what this is, a tab or something on a file folder or something. And it's going to match up end to end. All right. And then we have our designer series paper that I've already cut out using this die. And I did, this is the crisp cantaloupe color. And also this one I need to die cut. I would bring our machine back over here. And which side I want that on, this side. We still got Miss Squeaky here. All right, so here we got that layer. And that was cut out with this die. You got this left over. I'm kind of think I might use that for something later on. I don't know. Seems like it could be used for something, so we're going to hang on to that. Bring our card back over here. And we're going to kind of set these at an angle. We don't want them straight on. So maybe do this bottom one at that angle. Just add our adhesive. And this one we'll put at an angle, but not quite as much of an angle. Keep it a little straighter. So I think right about there. Looks like a mixed up mess there. All right, and then next we have got scrap a basic white, and we're going to stamp our butterflies that are in that stamp set. This one right here. And we're going to use our black Memento ink. And we're going to stamp 2 of them. And there is a die to cut these out too, so you don't have to do any fussy cutting. And I'm going to grab my shimmer brushes to do the coloring with. I've got the hydrangea hue and also the golden glow. So we're going to do one of each here. And be sure you shake your shimmer brush to get it all mixed up good. And let me take that banner off. There we go. And I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay. All right. Now we're going to color one with the golden glow. This is kind of a glittery pen. It's sort of like our Wink of Stella pens, but this has got color in it. And these are the in colors only right now. The ones that just came out. All right, and then next we're going to do the hydrangea hue. Make sure I'm in camera view. So if you want a little darker, you can let it dry a little bit and then go back over it again. But I think one layer is probably good with mine today. Okay. Hope everybody's had a good week. Mine's been good. No complaints here. And let me put a little extra right there. There we go. And then we die cut those. So grab the butterfly die. Yeah, I'm going to use a little washi tape to hold it in place so it doesn't move on me. Nothing worse than getting it all colored and everything and it moves on you and it messes it up. So we want to make sure it stays put. So here's our golden glow butterfly. And we'll do the hydrangea hue. Okay, so our two butterflies. And next, I'm going to cut this out of our basic white. This is a pretty frame, and the center pops out also. I bet I didn't clean my die out from last time I used it. Let me pop that out. And a smaller one that'll fit. Nope. I'll cut this one down to size. Basic white. That noise is normal, so don't let that startle you. All right, we're just going to use the center section. I want to let you see what the frame looks like. It's really pretty. And let me get these straddlers out. Well, I should have ran it through twice. All right, you get the gist of it. I've got some hang-ons there I need to poke out later. So it's really pretty. We'll save that for another project later. All right, and we're going to stamp One Fine Day with our black memento. So get that inked up. And I'm going to pull that down so I can center that onto that little square. One Fine Day. Very good. And that's going to go on the center of that die cut. And you could put it on dimensionals, but I'm just gluing it directly down to my card. And kind of put that straight. And now we can attach our butterflies. I'm just going to put glue in the center of the body. And we're going to place this butterfly up here at an angle. And our other one will go at the bottom 10 corner. All right, but we're not done yet. We've got our ribbon. It's a new one. It's the black iridescent ribbon. And I've cut it in half and made a double bow or triple bow. So it's kind of got the shabby look where it's shredding a little bit. And that's going to go at the bottom of our sentiment. And grab me a mini glue dot. And I take your pick tool to get that off of there. And we're going to place that just below the sentiment. Like so. But we're not done. We're going to add some embellishments to this. And I'm going to use, these are the 2026 to 2028 in color dots. And I'm going to use the hydrangea hue color. Get that out of the package, I will. And I take your pick tool. We'll use the putty end to grab those. And we'll do a large. Well, do a large there and a small one beside that. And another large. We'll place that onto our little tab there. And we'll leave these out. We're going to be using those on another card. All right, and then the inside, I'm going to use my stamp positioner, which I've already set up. I've got a basic white in there that's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm going to use the stamp that says love it. It's a heart. And we're going to ink up with our black Memento ink again. I had to stick my finger in the ink here. The reason I'm using this is because I want a good dark impression so I can ink it up again. So we're going to press that down, hold it for just a second. Yeah, I want to ink it up again. Give it another impression stamp. I got the ink all over on that one, but it's washable. So hold that down a second. You can find this stamping positioner in my store if you would like to have one. And got adhesive behind there, so it didn't want to come off of there very easily. All right, we can set that so it doesn't get all over the place. And then we're going to put our inside of our card together. Okay, and leave a border going around it. And we're not done yet. We're going to add a little extra to this side. And this is the, I'm not sure what that is, but it's a little flag with some lines across it. Oh, I think I grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, this isn't the right one. Get the right one here. I want button here. Yeah, that's the one I want. And I'm just going to stamp him on the left side. All right. Okay, so that's the inside. Love it. One fine day. Love it. So that's our first card. Let's clean up here and we'll get to our second card, which I'm going to be using the Begonia Belle stamp set. This is our product of the month for this month for July. So you might want to get that. You spend $75 and you can add this onto your order for only $5. So very pretty. I think my mom used to have begonias planted all the time. They were pretty. All right, and we will start with this one here. There are bits and pieces out here. All right, so here's our first card. You are my sunshine. And then on the inside, sending lots of happiness your way. And put my instructions off of there. All right, we're going to start out with our card base, which is our thick white. And that is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. We're going to burnish that score line. And I'm going to have it opening this way, a little bit different than our normal. Okay, and our designer series paper comes from the Moonlit Flora designer series paper. And we're using this pattern right here, which is this one here. And that measures 4 3/16 by 5 7/16. I'm using odd measurements this time. I just realized that the last two cards have had 16ths instead of the normal. All right, so that's going to go onto the front of our card. But first I want to add our Golden Glow cardstock, which is 2 5/8 by 5 7/16. And that's going to go across the center. And then a basic white, 2 3/8 inches by 5 7/16. And that's going to sit right on top of that Golden Glow. I think I'm going to do my stamping before I attach any of this. So let me set that aside. We'll bring our stamp over here. And this one is going to say, "You are my sunshine," which is right, this one right here. And I'm going to stamp these using our Peaceful Pine stamp pad. So ink that all up. Just testing it, make sure it's inked up good. And this is going to go in the bottom right-hand corner. You are my sunshine. You make me happy. Don't need to sing the song. All right, you are my sunshine. And then I'm going to take my Stampin' Blend, which is a Golden Glow. Let me have the dark blending brush. And I'm going to grab paper up here to collect the splatter. I'm going to just splatter this with our Golden Glow Stampin' Blend. And what I'm going to do is just hit my pen with my bone folder. It's splatter some color onto that. And I'm not really seeing any. Where is it? There it is. Take out your aggressions. Okay. And put that back. And we'll bring our Golden Glow piece of cardstock over here, and we're going to attach that down. And do a small strip at the top and the bottom. And I want to got my cut line there. It's up, so I had to push that back down. All right, now this is going to go onto our Designer Series paper, the larger one, and we're going to center that. And put that right across that center. And straight. Looks like it's straight. Now we're going to attach that to our front of our card. So putting the right direction, we don't put it upside down. And it's going to have just a tiny thin border going around it where the white will show the card. So far. Okay, then we're going to do some stamping of flowers and leaves. And these are 2-step stamps with the flower and the leaves. So there's the leaves. And the flower we're going to do with Golden Glow. All right, I'm going to start with the larger one. Get that inked up good. And we need 2 flowers. And let's see if I can put this on there. Yeah. Almost had too small of a piece of cardstock here, but we're going to make it work. Okay. And then I have that little bud. Which I'll wait with that. I need my Peaceful Pine to do our leaves. Oh, I'm jumping the gun. I didn't finish my flower. I'm getting ahead of myself here. All right. Bring the inside flower back. Our Golden Glow and a piece of scratch paper to stamp off on. I'm going to do second generation with the next stamp. So we'll ink it up, stamp off, and then come back to our image and stamp that. So it's easy to line up. You just watch for where it's positioned at. And do that one more time. Stamp off. All right. And we've got our large flowers done. We're going to come back with our green again. I think I used, did I use that? Let me see. Okay, I did use Peaceful Pine. I know one I used the Granny Apple Green, so I was confusing myself here. All right, let's do our leaves. I'm going to do this one with the full strength. We have one. It's like we're doing 3 leaves. No, 2 leaves. I think we're only doing 2 leaves. Yeah, I already got it inked up, and I'll just stamp it. All right, and our filler stamp, we're going to stamp off. Line that up and stamp it in the center. Stamp off. Well, I'll go ahead and stamp that third one just in case we need an extra. All right, and then next we're going to do the stem for that rosebud or flower. And close up Peaceful Pine and bring our Golden Glow back over here. Get rid of the scratch paper. And this matches right up with the stem of that. So we're going to stamp that using our Golden Glow, our little petal, our buds. All right. And there's no die for these, so we're going to have to fussy cut those out. And I thought I did them ahead of time. I guess I didn't, so bear with me. I'm going to cut out the flowers first. And it's not real hard to fussy cut. We just want to keep a little white edge around the flower. And I'm moving my paper, not my scissors. Love these flowers. They're so pretty. Reminds me of my mom. I think she had red begonias. I think, if I remember right, a lot of years ago. My mom's no longer with me anymore. Cutting this, my nose is itching. Means I'm going to kiss a fool? I don't know about that. I wouldn't call him that. All right. There's one flower. And cut these away from each other so they're easier to cut up. I'm supposed to have a delivery today between 9 and 1 o'clock today from FedEx. So if he comes when I'm doing my live, I'm going to have to get up and answer the door because I got a sign for it. So it shouldn't take me long though. Or he could wait till I'm done with my live before he shows up. Sometimes he's later than what they say. And I'm excited because I'm getting a new Stampin' Up! Order coming in today. Okay. More goodies to play with. I'm getting my hot foil machine and some bundles to go along with that. I'm anxious to play with it. All right, there's our second flower. All right. And cut out our 2 leaves. Okay, 1 leaf. And another one. I don't think I need that third one, so we're just going to throw that aside. Save it for another time. And not much going on in my life to talk about. I don't know. I leave a drama-free life most of the time, hopefully. No kids at home to talk about. They're all grown up, kids of their own. All right, now we'll cut out that little flower. Quiet today. Usually when I'm doing my lives, my husband's out there on the lawnmower making noise, but he had to go help a friend work on his truck, so he's occupied. All right, we're going to bring our card back over here, and we're going to start arranging our flowers. We're going to go one there, another one here. It's going to be up on dimensionals. Our leaf, our flower bud. Oh, I had 2 flower buds. I need to do another one. I just noticed that. Bring those back over here. All right, peaceful pine. And golden glow for the flower buds. And place those down. Set the ink pad. Bring our scissors back over here and fussy cut that out. Hope y'all are getting some time in to be able to do some crafting, whether it be making cards or scrapbooking or any other 3D projects. All right, there's our other rosebud or flower bud. That's going to go right down here. Okay, I think that looks pretty good like that. So let's start attaching our things down. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue in the center of our upper flower. Scooch that down. And this flower I'm going to put up on dimensionals. So let's grab our dimensionals over here. And I think I'll put 3. Well, I take your pick tool, grab those off. I don't have any fingernails. And we're going to bring this down just a tiny bit. Right up there. Grab our leaves and attach those up underneath the flowers now. And just slip that under a little bit. All right. And then our little buds, flower buds. Let's put that right in beside that leaf. And another one on the bottom. I think I'll put that one right there. All right, so that's the front of our card, but let's add some embellishments to that. We're going to bring out these were the in color dots for 2026-28. And take your pick tool, and we're going to go with the golden glow color this time. And there, a small one right there, and a large one go right here. You could add a ribbon to this if you wanted to, but I didn't on mine. But you probably could. Maybe put one right here or something, right underneath that flower. Okay, you are my sunshine. Now let's work on the inside. Well, yeah. I was debating if I wanted to put a white layer on the inside, but I do. I'm going to bring my stamp pad back over here, the golden glow. And I'm just going to run my cardstock on the edges over that stamp pad. Okay. Just to break up that white on white a little bit. You can kind of see the edges. All right, we're going to stamp that with our sentiment, which is this, sending lots of happiness. And I'm going to bring my Peaceful Pine ink pad back over here to stamp that sentiment with. Let me see how I put that on the inside. Did I put anything else with it? Okay, I need to stamp my flower first. I don't know if there's enough ink left down there. I was going to huff on it. It might have been enough ink, but I wanted to make sure. So we're going to stamp that and stamp off. And stamp that centered inside. And I guess I better do the other one to make it look right. And match that all up and stamp it. Okay, and then our sentiment with the Peaceful Pine, bring that back over here. And where did I put the stamp? right there. Put it back in my carrier there. Sending lots of happiness your way. I'm going to stamp that right in the center of the flower. So there's our inside sentiment. Put that inside of our card. Well, I muted my phone, but I didn't mute my watch here, so you probably heard that ding. And inside layer. Okay. You are my sunshine, and sending lots of happiness your way. So that's our second card. Pick up a little bit here. I'm ready to the lid for my glue. I don't know. All right, then our third and final card. I'm going to be using that same stamp set. I wanted to get plenty of samples off here for y'all because this is only available through the month unless it sells out before. So I wanted to give you some samples of what you can do with it. Oh, whoops, extra leaf in there. Instructions. Okay, this one's going to go portrait orientation. And all right, can you open? Oops. Using the same stamp set, the Magnolia Belle. This one says, sending lots of happiness your way. And on the inside, you are my sunshine. So let's get started with that. We're going to be using our thick white again. And this is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. We're going to burnish that score line. And we're going to go portrait orientation. All right. And then next I have our Daffodil Delight, which is 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. That's going to be our mat that's going to go onto our card. We're going to start doing our layers here first. And then I've got our embossing folder, which is the Lazy Daisy 3D embossing folder. I have a basic white that's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and I've already embossed that already. I'm thinking the camera picks it up okay, a little bit. It's going to go onto our Daffodil Delight layer. When you've got an embossed layer, you want to make sure you get up against the edges pretty good so it doesn't lift on you. We don't want our cards falling apart. Okay, this goes onto that Daffodil Delight with a small edge going all around all 4 sides. And that's going to go onto our card front with my adhesive. Oops, I had to get glue on my work surface. Never fails. And I turn that sideways to get that position down there, leaving a small edge on all 4 sides. All right. You can kind of see it, the embossed area. All right, and then next I'm going to stamp our flowers again. And I don't have my Daffodil Delight ink pad. Let me go get that. Oh, no, I do. I do. Set them somewhere else. I forgot I had gotten them out already. Our Daffodil Delight and our Granny Apple Green for the leaves. And to wash off my stamps. And grab those leaves back over here. And my sentiment. We'll clean that off again too. And I think that's all the stamping I have to do. All right, we're going to start out with our flower. With a Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to do 3 flowers on this one. One, 2. Put a third one down here. No. We'll do the scrap. There we go. 3 flowers. The outside. Let me do the inside layers. I don't think I'm going to stamp this one off. I think I'm going to go full strength. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I can handle that. Get them lined up right. And our third one. All right, flowers are stamped. Now I'm going to do the leaves. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves on this one. Close up the Daffodil Delight. And my leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll do the centers. All right. And to save some time, I've already cut those out already. So we've got 5 of the leaves. And 1, 2. I've only got 2 flowers cut out. So that means I got to cut out 1. Trying to look, see which is the best one. Maybe this one. So let's go around our flower, leaving a little white edge around it. I'm going to have to reschedule my live for next week. I have a procedure scheduled, so I won't be here. I maybe change it to that day before Wednesday, which would be July 22nd. And probably a 10 o'clock time slot again. I think I like the 10 o'clock. It just means I got to hurry up with my coffee in the morning, get myself ready. but I'll post it on my page to let you know. All right, so we've got our 3 flowers and our 5 leaves. And I also got a little tag that I cut out. Where did I get the tag from? Not in that one. I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, it must be in the scalloped dies. Yeah, I think it came out of the scalloped blooms die. I don't have that over here with me. I could go get it, but I'm going to wait here and just do my card first. All right, so we're going to do a dry fit to see where we want everybody to be. This one's going to go on dimensionals. So bring those back. Where did I put them? You don't want to see my desk right now. It is a disaster. Surprised I can find anything. Are y'all messy crafters like I am? I do occasionally clean my desk off, but it doesn't stay that way. Doesn't last long. Okay, we're going to start attaching our flowers. So I think I'm going to put that one right there with just our adhesive. And make sure it's going the right direction. So it looks like it was right there. And then our other one is going to go kitty corner on the upper right side. I'll place that right about there, I think. And our other flower is going to go bottom center. And here we go. And we're going to stamp our sentiment on this, which is sending lots of happiness your way. And I'm just going to use my black Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp it towards the bottom of that tag. Close up before we have an accident with it. All right, now we're going to attach our leaves. Let me do a dry fit here, make sure I've got them positioned right. And that one can kind of go off to the side there. And let me get some adhesive on these. Tuck it up under the flower. And slip that up under. I have more of an angle. One flower petal over here. Well, and then 2 more on that left side. I'm going to turn that a little bit so I can see better. And place that down right there. And now our little tag, I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. Take your pick tool to get those off. And you got no fingernails. And we're going to slip that up underneath that flower. And my dimensionals are in the way. Let me move that aside for a moment. Okay, and then I made a bow out of my baker's twine. This is a white baker's twine, and I used my Stampin' Blends to color it, and I made a triple bow out of that. That's going to go right here. And my mini glue dots again. Press that into that. Take your pick tool and I'm going to put a little glue behind this to attach. Well, a little bit of glue, can't get any out. Okay, press that down. And let me snip my tails a little bit shorter. I'm using the wrong scissors here. No. Okay. Now we're going to add some bling. We're going to add some rhinestones. Or, basket here. These are the basic rhinestones. And I'm going to take your pick tool to grab those with. I'm going to place them in the center of those flowers. I'm doing 3 on this card. And a little more sparkle we'll put onto this flower right here. Okay, but there's more. Let's do the inside. What did I put on the inside? You are my sunshine. We'll bring that back. And I'm just using our basic black. I didn't put an extra layer on the inside. You can if you want to. I chose not to. And you are my sunshine. And then I'm going to stamp a flower bud on the bottom, left-hand corner. So we'll bring those back over here. And let me clean those off because they've got different ink on them. We're changing from the Peaceful Pine ink pad to our Granny Apple Green pad. And we'll spank that dry a little bit. Oops, I goofed up the wrong one. Almost made a big mistake here. I don't want green buds. I want the stem green. So make sure we got the right one there. Yep. Now we'll stamp that down the bottom left-hand corner. Granny Apple Green. Close this up so we don't do that again. Grab the Daffodil Delight. Right, our flower buds. I like this little flower bud. It's cute. Okay. Okay. The front of our card. Sending lots of happiness your way. See that embossed layer? Gives it a little extra something. And then on the inside, you are my sunshine with a little flower bud at the bottom. So that's our 3 cards for today. Let me bring those all out here. And we will start to close up here. And I've got a mess over here. All right, so those are the 3 cards we did today. I hope you enjoyed them. Be sure you like and share the video. If you're watching on Facebook and if you're watching me on YouTube, be sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button also, and share it with your friends. Tell them about me. I'm trying to get more followers, so, and follow me also. All right, so like I was saying, for next week, let me get my calendar out here. Oops, that's not it. Okay. So we are July. That would be the week of the 20th. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to go live that Wednesday, the day before. That'd be July 22nd at 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock Mountain Time, and 8 o'clock Pacific Time. So I'm hoping that will work for everybody. If not, you can catch me on the replay. So until next Wednesday, y'all have a good rest of your week. If you're in a climate where it's really hot, be sure that you're staying hydrated and stay cool. Thank goodness for air conditioning. All right. So thank you for being here, like I said. And I want to thank you for shopping with me. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. Either private message me on Facebook or my email, or even on here. You can comment and I'll get back with you. So thank you for being here. Bye.